Well, good morning, everyone. Dr. Nancy Stanley here, physical therapist, life coach, and health coach. And it looks like I've had a rough morning, but honestly, I've been up since about 6:30 and I've been working. I'm about to do a workout, and I may do a few workouts here live on my program because I want you to see how quick and easy it is. I mean, you just can do it, and that's my encouragement to you, is don't look at it as this big obstacle you've got to get over. Just look at it as something you're going to incorporate into your life. But before I do a workout, I'm going to cook some breakfast. And I don't think I have, it's been a while since I have cooked eggs for you. And you might think, eggs? Well, what's so complicated about eggs? Nothing. But I have a little technique that I use in my eggs that I think makes them unique and different. You know, eggs are eggs are eggs. But this is something I've been doing in my family. My husband's like, you cook the best eggs. And I'm like, they're just eggs, but I'm going to show you a little secret. It's not really a secret, but it's just what I do. And then I want to talk to you a little bit about supplements, okay? I've got my supplements here. But what I've got here already is I made myself a couple of chaffles, and this is the cheese I'm going to put in my eggs. But this is I'm going to take a bite of it. That is a chaffle made with one egg. Well, both those two chaffles together are an egg and about maybe a fourth a cup of mozzarella cheese. So let me turn this back. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cook 4 eggs. That's what my husband and I'll eat. Maybe 5. I don't know. So I'm just cracking them in the pan. I don't beat them up. I just crack them in the pan, and these are good quality range-fed eggs, and they're nice big eggs, so I think 4 will be enough. I see a shell in there. Let me get that out. All right, and I think I see another one. Let me get that out. I'm usually a little more careful than that. Okay, and then I've got some real salt. I hope you're using real salt. All right, there's the bacon. It might be ready to come out. Let me check it. Oh, yeah. Now, I like my bacon limp, and my husband likes his crispy. So we I fix it so around the edges it's going to get crispy. Let me turn this off for now and turn the timer off. Okay. All right, so I've got 4 eggs. Maybe I'll put 1 more egg in there. So I've got them cracked in there. Now, these are not going to be fried eggs. They're going to be scrambled eggs. I'm going to you can put as much cottage cheese. That's about a fourth a cup. It's all that was left in this container, so that's what's going in there. In that timer. Okay. I think I put the salt, but I didn't put the pepper. So I'm going to put some pepper. And then I'm going to put, you see I'm letting them cook, and they're on low. And then I'm going to put about a fourth a cup of cheese in there. Yeah. And then a little bit of heavy cream. All right, you're like, well, what's so different about all that? Well, what's different, that's about a tablespoon, I think. What's so different is I'm not scrambling them up. I'm letting the yolk and the white cook separately. And I'm going to kind of move it around, you know, kind of let some of that yolk that's up on the top get down to the heat so it'll cook a little bit. And then in a minute, when the heat gets up a little bit, then I'm going to scramble them. And you're like, well, what's so different about that? Well, what's different about it is, hey, Robin, I see you. And Tammy and Judy and Dolores. And let's see who else. Denny and Sunny and Louise. And okay, good to see y'all. All right. What's different about it is the egg white tastes different than the egg yolk. And if you scramble it all up together, then that's even a third taste. But I like the yolk and the egg. I like fried eggs, but I really like them like this. So I started with a little bit of butter. So I'm letting some of that yolk, I'm letting some of that white cook separately. You see here, just like if I was frying them. But I kind of push them around a little bit. And then in a minute, I'm just going to stir it, and the yolk's going to cook. I could actually go ahead and start I don't know, my heat didn't come up like I thought it was. All right, so now I'm just gonna start stirring them up. So these are really creamy. So if you like hard cooked eggs, so you see, when you look at that now, you see the yolk and the white is separate. And you know, the reason I put the cottage cheese in there is, one, it makes it creamier, and two, I'm getting some protein. And I want my husband to have protein too, because we're trying to keep our muscles. we're trying to stay strong. And so every chance I can get some protein in, and you get about 6 grams of protein from eggs, so not a lot, but you do get some vitamin K2 if you don't cook the yolk real hard. So if you're boiling eggs, if you do a soft boiled egg, then you'll get some of that vitamin K2, which we need that too. It actually assists vitamin D3 in modulating our cells and our hormones and so many things. So I'm just gonna let this cook a little bit more. You see, I'm using my favorite pan, our house pan, and I use my wooden spoons on that just because I don't want to damage it. I'm so proud of this pan. I love, love, love it. I even ditched my cast iron skillet, which I used a lot for these pans, and they are great. All right, I'm going to sit this back a little bit off the burner here and turn this off. Okay, so, oh, here's what I was going to show you. I think I've showed you this trick before, but I want to show you. If you have trouble getting bacon out of your package, you know, it's cold and it's hard to take it out if you can remember that. If not, I didn't do that this morning because I didn't remember that. I didn't really realize I was going to do it. But if you'll just take the package with the bacon in it and roll it up and squeeze it really good, it'll make the bacon separate, and then you can take it out and put it in your pan like this, okay? So that's just a little tip. I want you to know I saw that. You know how those little things will pop up on your phone, and it's all these magical things, you know, you wish you had known. And I'm like, well, those are all good. And out of about the 20, there's about 2 or 3 that you'll say, yes, that's good. I want to do that. Okay. So be sure you get your good range-fed eggs. Maybe you got a neighbor, but you know, a lot of people that raise chickens, they feed their chickens mash, and they really don't let them range. And so you kind of want to ask those questions like, how do your chickens exist, you know? To get the best eggs, they need to be omnivores. They need to be eating bugs, and, you know, that's what chickens love to eat. And, you know, maybe some chicken feed, but chicken feed is pretty much ground corn, and they call it laying mash is what my daddy used to. We had a feed mill, and people came in there and they'd buy laying mash for their chickens, and it was just ground up corn, and I don't know what else they put in it, but anyway, just a little note there. Okay, so what was the other thing? All right, so last night I did the chaffle, so if you missed it, go back last night and watch the chaffle, because this is my new toast and my hamburger bun and my sandwich bun and whatever else. And just think about that. In these 2 chaffles, I got 1 egg and a little bit of cheese. And I could have even done less cheese. And I'll be honest with you, it doesn't taste like an egg. I mean, I don't know. Depends, I guess, on what you're going to put on it. But, you know, with a good hamburger, which I love a good hamburger, and so does my husband, you know, really that bun is to hold it together. And sometimes the buns are, you know, if they're toasted and they're good, brioche bun, they're great. But honestly, it's just where you're going to get a lot of the carbs and the unhealthy things, especially if it's a gluten bun. So this is a great way to have a bun, hold your burger together, all the stuff, lettuce, tomato, dill pickles, you know, some cheese, whatever. And yeah, it's just a good thing. All right, let's talk about vitamins a little bit, okay? I did a video for my, well, actually Sunday night. On Sunday night, my group, I do a Zoom call with my group. And I do, you know, I try to do some kind of education. And we talked about the 5 supplements. And I'm not going to go over all that now, but here's what I want you to know. The number 1 is going to be vitamin D3 and K2. This is just an empty bottle. I don't buy from Dr. Berg anymore. But I buy from Dr. Living Good, and but you want to get D3 and K2. Now, if you've heard my little spiel about vitamin D, then you can just flip off or whatever. But vitamin D is, you see I put it at the top of the list. And the reason is, if you're deficient in vitamin D, if your vitamin D levels, which your doctor should be checking that every time you go to get your blood work done, if it's below 50 or 40, if it's in the 20s, you are at risk for all kinds of things. Your immune system is not fortified. You know, vitamin D literally opens up the cell, okay, and turns on and off your DNA, which is really important. And I know when I get my levels up and keep my levels up, I feel so much better. And it's something you have to work out, because like yesterday, I did not go outside at all. I worked all day. When I came home, it was really, really hot. I did go outside, but it was after the sun went down, so I didn't get any vitamin D from the sun. But I want to tell you that you can get from the sun in 20 minutes outside with your arms and legs exposed. I'm about to go out there and get me some. Now I live in South Georgia. From let's say April, let's say the 1st of May, we'll just say April to November. In 20 minutes, you can get 20,000 IUs of vitamin D from the sun through your skin. Now, don't go in and bathe right after you do that, because you'll wash it off, because it's absorbed through the oils in your skin. And so you don't want to go in and bathe, but just think about just walking outside from 10 to 2 for 10 minutes. You're going to get 10,000 IUs, and that's what you take. That's what's in these pills. I was looking at, so one of the things I'm doing now, so here's a multivitamin, and it's got vitamin D in it, and it's got 5,000 IUs, which is a good amount to have. But if yours is low, you're going to have to take about 10,000 a day to get it up, and get it from the sun. It's free, and it's so good. And even having that sun in your eyes, go without your sunglasses. It's just such a great. I hear things going, but I think we're good. I got everything turned off. Okay. It's just such a great opportunity to absorb God's goodness. You know, He put that sun, and it's, you know, one thing I learned a few years ago is, if the sun was a foot closer, we would burn up, and if it was a foot further away, we would freeze. But every morning, it's right where it needs to be. Even if you can't see it, if it's behind the cloud, it's still there, providing what we need to survive. And I'm just, you know, when I walk out there, like this morning, I walked out there and watched that sunrise as it was rising about 7 o'clock for about 10 minutes, getting that sunshine in my eyes. I just thought, God, you're so faithful. You're so faithful to us. And we don't even recognize it sometimes. We don't even realize it, how faithful He is. So I just want to encourage you with that. Okay, so vitamin D, covered that. You got to get D3 and K2. And like I said, get it checked. All right, the second one is probably a multivitamin. And this is what I do right now. It's Brain MD from Dr. Amen. It's got an omega-3. It's got some vitamin D. It's got some curcumin. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff. When I just got the box in the mail, and it kind of got crushed, but it's I mean, listed on here. I mean, it's got A, C, D, E, riboflavin, niacin. It's got my B vitamin, magnesium. It's got zinc. It's got selenium. It's got all of these things in this, and I take 2 of these a day. So I take them with food, because oh, by the way, vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin, so you got to have some fat in there. So if you're doing coffee, bulletproof coffee with some fat in it, maybe some MCT oil or whatever, and maybe some protein, that will work as, you know, taking your morning dose or whatever. But anyway, I love this for brain power too. I can really tell a difference when I'm fueling my brain as well as my body with supplements. Okay, all right. And the multivitamin is something I think you need as women. We really need that. We need folate. We need selenium. We need all those. Okay. The other thing is magnesium, and this is a blend that I get from MitoLife. It's a magnesium complex. It's got magnesium biglycinate, magnesium malate, threonate. There's all of these, but I have to take magnesium oxide for constipation. I've been chronically constipated my whole life. But that works for me if I take that every other day. Slow Mag is another brand that you can get. You can order this from Amazon. I think this is what Dr. Atiyah talks about, Peter Atiyah. Okay, so that, let's see. I think that's it. All right, so the other thing that I take, and I'm really not trying to sell anything here. I've just been doing this for so many years, about 14 years. I started taking glutathione. And I started with Cellgevity, and that company, well, actually, they're still in business. But this company, the Numi company, about 5 years ago, I got onto this product, and it is actually a nano-sized particle that you swish in your mouth. So the real issue always with pharmaceuticals, any kind of medicine, any medicine, is absorption. Because there's a lot that happens between here and here and here. And so, you know, especially if your gut is not healthy, it's going to be hard for you to absorb all of these things. So if it's absorbed through the mucosa in your mouth, through all the, you know, just like you would do a heart pill, nitroglycerin, it's absorbed there. So this is called Swish. I just do a little mouthful, capsule, whatever, capful. In the morning, I swish it for about a minute, and I do one at night. And I've been doing this for a while, so if you're interested in that, let me know. It's going to be about $55 a month for a month supply, but it's just something I don't do without. I just don't. I mean, it's just part of my regimen, and I believe that it's why I have so much energy. That, along with a lot of other things that I do, but you know, yesterday I worked hard, and then I came home and I went to a workout, and then I did a belly dance class at 7 o'clock. We had so much fun. But I'm not saying this to impress you, but to impress upon you that it's how we fuel our body that makes it perform. And I was talking to one of my patients yesterday, and he was a 70-year-old man, and he was not doing well. And I said, so what are you eating for breakfast? And he said, well, I usually have some cereal. And I'm like, ooh, that's not fuel, that's poison. And he said, what? I mean, he acted a little bit offended. I said, seriously, it's sugar, and your body only runs for a couple of hours on sugar. And recently I had someone comment and said, thank you for telling me about a better breakfast, because now I just eat my eggs, you know, if it's boiled eggs or maybe some avocado or whatever. And when I was eating cereal, in 30 minutes I was hungry again. I'm like, of course you were, because that sugar burns up fast, especially, you know, it just does. But the fat and the protein, if you're eating that for breakfast, it's going to keep you. And I'm just thinking, I'm surprised that more people don't know this. I mean, but there you go. You've got the big food industry promoting all of these drinks, these energy drinks, and all these things that are really killing people. I mean, seriously, I see it every day. So, okay, women, we got to build bone. We got to build muscle. We got to do some, you know, jumps if you can. So I really do think I'm going to go over here and do a live workout here as soon as I don't know. I might do it live, but hit the love button if you want me to do it live, if you want me to do a live workout. Because, you know, I know there's so many of you that aren't working out. And the reason I see in the comments, I get so many comments. I'm 68, I'm 72, I see my body declining, I'm going forward, I'm doing all these things. So even just yesterday, I showed a woman how to use a noodle to stretch out her shoulders, you know. Okay, I see all the love buttons. So I'm going to do a live. I'll do a live here in a few minutes. So let me get off here. I'm going to eat a little breakfast. Give me about 15 minutes, and I'm going to come back and do a live, okay? And I'm going to show you that shoulder stretch, how to keep your shoulders from going forward. And, yeah, we'll do it. All right, thank y'all for joining me. And let me know how I can help.